From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us on Wednesday, January 3rd. It's Wednesday.
Halfway through the work week, and it's trash day at my house. Let's get started.
So that means they are no longer on the street hurting or robbing people, hurting businesses, or killing folks.
A sense of relief for many in Oakland this morning. More arrests made in connection to the murder of a police officer.
This is all part of the plan to just remove Palestinians completely.
The government with genocidal intent is Hamas. They stated in Article 7 of their charter.
A debate goes well into the night in Alameda. The Israel-Hamas conflict splits the community.
Level looks pretty good to me.
I would say that we're in really good shape this year.
A promising site for Bay Area reservoirs. Heavy winter rain bringing some much-needed help.
I just get to be the best version of myself every single day. And part of that is that I'm filling my cup at home.
How does a shorter work week sound to you? It's an idea that's catching on more and more. The greater push to promote better work-life balance.
About work-life balance here on our show. I'm Nicole Loomis.
Yeah, it's really all about giving yourself a chance to breathe, inhale, exhale. You can even create that in 5 minutes in your life. I'm Reed Cowan.
Yes, you can. I'm not going to lie. I had a little bit of that the last few weeks, taking some time off.
Did.
But ready to get back in at 'em, I did.
Missed you.
Yeah, well, and I missed you guys too. And I missed a little bit of the busyness that comes with getting back to work in January starting. And let's get a live look outside because we are kicking off this new year with definitely some wet weather here and there. Here is a live look on this Wednesday morning. Those clouds still kind of hanging out and hovering around the Bay Area. But today, all eyes will be on the coastline where the storm surge could brew up some more dangerous waves. A surf advisory will be in effect for most of the day today. And just keeping track of the roadways, Darren, all that wet weather seems to be concentrated this morning towards the east because that's where I'm seeing a lot more of those problems. Hopefully it's clearing out soon.
It's still kind of hanging out over the East Bay. We're going to check in on what it looks like from First Alert Doppler standpoint in terms of the Tri-Valley and most of inland Contra Costa County, because that's where some of the more impressive rain is. Take a look at these bands that have been coming on shore over the last, really, several hours. But over about the last hour, it's been that one right there. See that big blob sitting out there? That's the one over the East Bay. A few showers here coming into Santa Cruz. But the focus continues to be this one, and if we watch this, a close-up view shows you 680 starting to get a little bit of a let-up now. There's been a lot of steady rain on that for you guys. There's Mount Diablo, and you can see the rain's really just kind of hugging around the base of the mountain. If we watch the last half hour of it, now you can see what's going on. There's that blob of rain that is slowly working its way across this part of the bay. It's really in the inland East Bay right now. And if we come in for a close-up look for Concord, you've been watching some of the better bands come across, but the last image right here shows you the heavier rain now starting to move out towards the east side of town, work its way over towards Clayton. Livermore, you're probably going to get some of this over about the next 30 to 45 minutes, and there will be more. All you got to do is look off the coast, and you can see there's more cells out here. The Futurecast can see those, and every once in a while, one of these will rotate on shore, and we'll get some more isolated showers. But I really think the cell we're seeing in the East Bay right now is the most impressive thing of the morning, and the most impressive thing for the rest of this storm, because by the time we get to 9 o'clock, this thing is done, and it's going to clear out of here, and we're going to get a break from that. Then we will look ahead to the rest of the forecast because there's another system coming our way on Saturday. It gets a little windy, by the way. When this system clears out, northerly winds will pick up on the back edge of it, and you will feel about a 30-mile-an-hour gust through the afternoon and the evening. So even though the rain's going to be done today, and we will get plenty of breaks of blue sky and great cloud watching weather today with big puffy cumulus clouds. It's going to feel cool and breezy through the afternoon because of that. I'll see you with the Saturday storm coming up in just a bit. For now, Gianna, back to you.
All right, Darren, thank you. And as Darren just mentioned, some of that wet weather heading through the East Bay right now, and that's causing some issues on our roadways. So just be careful out there. Live look here at the Bay Bridge. We haven't seen a backup like this in a couple of weeks. So if this is typically your commute, hopefully you got a bit of a break. But it's back to business today for a lot of people getting back to work and school, and those brake lights are reflective of that. And we are in the busiest hour now that we're officially in that 7 o'clock hour. Here is a look at one of our maps right now. You can kind of see all that red there in the center of your screen. That is westbound 580, and Darren just mentioning Livermore with that wet weather. So down about 15 miles per hour in some spots. I don't have any word of any crashes, but just by looking at that pattern there, there's likely something going on as you work your way just past or before Isabel, right before 84. So I'll keep a close eye on that. That is is certainly a very slow commute there and busy as you work your way westbound 80, Richmond, heading into Berkeley, of course, towards the Bay Bridge. And now we're getting reports of a bit of a hotspot on the upper deck there. So certainly making it busy for anyone heading into the city. Things are easing up on 580 as well as 880. And right now, no troubles out of the South Bay or along the peninsula. Reed?
Thanks, G. Now looking live this morning in Oakland, where police have worked hard to make arrests in the murder of one of their own. Since the killing of Officer Tuan Le, police have held their collective breath. But listen to this moment when they finally got to announce word of an exhale.
Just want to advise everybody that the killer of Officer Tuan Le is in custody. To all the officers have been working since that night, and dispatchers, thank you, everybody.
Gratitude and relief, not only for police, but the entire hurting community of Oakland. Police tell us to catch the killer, they made more than a half dozen arrests. So let's talk about the suspected trigger man. Here he is, Mark Sanders, 27 years old, arrested early Tuesday morning in Livermore and now facing first-degree murder and other charges. His life intersecting with the life of a public servant in a tragic way that will now lead him through the courts and prosecutors hope to prison. By the way, those prosecutors will make the case that Sanders shot and killed Officer Le during a robbery near Jack London Square last night. And let's keep in mind this point in time in Oakland history where policing is concerned. Oakland is a hurting community on that level as well. Max Darrow found a community outcry about this killing because Officer Le bridged the gap with a neighborhood that desperately needed a voice.
With several people now behind bars after the killing of OPD officer Tuan Le, a sense of relief for many in Oakland.
So that means they are no longer on the street hurting or robbing people, hurting businesses, or killing folks.
Carl Chan is the president of the Oakland Chinatown Chamber Foundation.
Officer Le had contributed so much in our community.
As Officer Le was a part of the Oakland community off duty and on duty. His cultural knowledge helped break down barriers, especially in Oakland's Little Saigon neighborhood.
They felt like someone was looking out for them.
Dr. Jennifer Tran, the president of the Oakland Vietnamese Chamber of Commerce, echoed that sentiment.
Officer Tuan was one of those officers who give you his card and this is my cell phone. Call me whenever you want. And for a community that doesn't feel represented to receive that, I mean, it's on a sad note to share, you know, but they didn't stop calling him.
Le was working undercover and responded to a burglary in progress of a suspected illegal marijuana grow house. He was shot and killed when the suspects tried to get away. Police sources tell CBS News Bay Area at least 7 people have been arrested and more arrests are imminent. After the shooting, Alameda County District Attorney Pamela Price issued a statement saying her office is ready to prosecute whoever is responsible.
I have talked to so many people. People are very concerned about when the case went through the DA.
Chan says the community wants justice for Officer Le, his family, for the people of Oakland he served, and to ensure the people responsible don't harm again.
We will be there for the family, but want to making sure that justice to be served.
Justice to be served, arrests made, and now it is about healing and learning. And the people of Oakland, we know you're doing just that. You're giving an outlet for community connections. The Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce, in fact, announcing a community vigil later this week, and we will be there.
Taking a look at this morning's top stories, at least 55 people have died in Japan following the powerful 7.6 quake that shook the region on New Year's Day. Rescuers are doing the hard work to try to find anyone trapped under the rubble. Thousands of buildings have been damaged, some completely collapsed. Close to 60,000 people have been forced out of their homes. But even delivering aid is presenting its own dangers. Yesterday, 5 crew members aboard a Japanese Coast Guard plane were killed after their aircraft collided with a passenger plane. 1 month after Capitola woman Alex Herman went missing, a suspect is in custody accused of her murder. Her former rock star boyfriend, Theo Langiel, founder of 80s metal group Mr. Bungle, was arrested in Santa Cruz County. Police say they found human remains in Berkeley's Tilden Regional Park, and now they're going to look at DNA evidence to confirm. New details in a string of violent car thefts in Alameda County. Sheriff's deputies say they could be connected. In the last 2 days, 2 times, suspects fired shots while trying to steal cars outside of homes. The first was in San Lorenzo, where a house was hit by bullets. Another in Hayward, where a man was shot at while he tried to stop someone from stealing his car. Thankfully, nobody was hurt.